Okay, we are live. All righty, we are live. Welcome to Sunday service with the Morrisons. This is my husband, David Morrison. I'm Tammy Morrison, and we are here to do Sunday service. And we're going to talk about relationships, of course, and our favorite subject, love and, creation, law of attraction. We talk about all the things. So if there's something that you want us to talk about, I would love it if you would drop it in the comments. And if you are on TikTok and you're watching me on my page, go to my bio and click YouTube and subscribe because I'm looking for subscribers and I would love to greet you there. So again, this is Sunday service with the Morrisons and we're going to get started. David.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Let me know what the weather's like in your area, too. We actually had to bundle up to come down in our living room. We got an upstairs out here in Washington State, outside Seattle. And upstairs get a little warm, but down here is 64 degrees. And it's going up to near 80 today. So this is God sent weather, and we're grateful for it. Like I said, I'm bundled up. I just got in from a shift work, a 12-hour at that. Tammy works from home mainly, and she goes out to a few functions. However, let me get on the subject of relationship. Not just relationship, but what did we say earlier? But just
Creation.
Just couple.
Yeah.
People being together,
Partnership.
Perfect partnership. We talking from experience level. Show the love. We thank you for the love. As you know, I'm a number one gifter, so you give me, I give back, and follow us, and we follow you back. That's for the people on TikTok. We're on different platforms, not right now, several different platforms. However, it's just wonderful to be in a partnership relationship. We come to you with experience, probably 80 plus years together of experience in coupling and relationship. What we like about what we have, we both tried it before, but we're not talking negative about the other people because if it wasn't for the other people, we wouldn't be together. So regardless, whatever happened back there. We like to let you know and give you an idea how we kind of function from time to time and how we get through things. Tammy's the type of woman with a fine haircut and a fine self over here. She even gets me to do things between the sheet that I said I probably wouldn't do, but we just enjoy each other. Tammy, we had a situation in the store one day because Tammy, she don't really care who she talks to sometimes, and how she put it out there, and I think a little bit. She say the same thing about me, but I tell you a situation. A lot of people, they approach us about sports, and Tammy's a hardcore, die-hard Cowboys girl, and she argue with these giant men sometime out there, and I'd be like, "Dad, God,
I'll be arguing."
They be fussing at each other. I'm telling you, they look at me like I'm a talk about it, but I've been in the military all my life, so I don't really watch sports that much. Because in the military, you can't watch TV without watching golf, football, baseball, tennis, hockey, you name it, football. So I'm not really into like. So she takes over those conversations. I remember one time in the store. I think we was in a Target, and it was this. I think we was up there in. No, we might have been in Arizona, but this guy had a look like he was from Colorado. We did a lot of hanging out in Colorado. And so the guy in front of us, and I'm this 5'9" dude, and this dude in front of us was about 6'3", 6'4". I couldn't see the top of his head. He was up there. Nice, solid dude with a beard almost down to his chest. And Tammy just straight up started laughing. And I said, oh, no. I said, I'm going to have to probably get with this dude. I don't have fear, but I just don't do, if I can talk myself out of anything I talk it out. You have to really push to get me to go any further than it. But this dude, he turns around, he looks down because he hears my wife laughing. And she said, I'm trying to figure out how do you do all of that? Because I think we was in Arizona. And luckily his wife had a sense of humor, his girlfriend. And he had a sense of humor, and he just laughing. And we all just talk. But that's just some of the fun things we do. I have to laugh about it sometime after the fact because I always got her back, and she knows that, so she don't have no kind of fear. She has my back. We had a situation one day. Tammy used to me when she would, she's been in the medical field for over 30 years, so she would work real hard, and our daughter came and stayed with us for a little bit, and to get on her feet as a young adult. And I was glad she did because she got to see what true love is. Because even though I work long shifts, we work different shifts. So I'm like the chef in the house, because I've been to, those of you know about it, Johnson and Wales University, and been through that phase, and so I would get up, no matter how tired I was, and make sure this woman had a nice warm meal when she got home. But she got home one day. Our daughter wasn't staying with us then. Yeah, she wasn't staying with us then, but she had left, or she was about to come. But anyway, it was somewhere around there. But she came home. The house was dark, and I always had the house lit up and food smelling, and she couldn't find anything. And she came to the bedroom, and I was still under the blanket. And she started going in a nurse mode on me, and I'm like, oh, this woman, in the back of my mind, And I was so sick, I didn't even know it. And she threw the cover off me and said, "Get up, we're going to the hospital." And I just turned around and I said, "No." I said, honey, just let me get some more rest." And she said, "If you don't go to the hospital, I'm gonna call the ambulance." She didn't say it like that, but but she persuaded me, and when I got to we went to urgent care. When I got to urgent care, I had never been that sick before. I didn't even know what pneumonia was, but I used to work a job where I don't know if this had anything to do with weakening my immune system, but I lived in Arizona, but my job took me from 90 to 100 and something degree weather average to drop into 18, 8, and 3 below, because I would go up into the mountains of Colorado, like during September, and it would still be pretty hot in Arizona, but that's not considered like peak hot in Arizona. So I would constantly going between those two weathers. Thank you for the love. Share it out too, also. But we just in life, we just love the way we meet people, and they can't understand how we just love each other's company so much. A lot of my best friends, they wind up, they're single, but by the time we finish with them as couple, as partners, before you know it, they done found somebody that reminds us of us, if you know what I'm saying. But it's hard for them to stay single when they see how much fun we have. Some of my friends don't want to hang out with us because they say, "Oh, I don't want to be a third wheel." I'd be like, "Inward, please." And no matter what color they are, pretty much I just say that. But we have that going on. We don't have desire. It's not because we we don't love hanging out with our friends and stuff, but we don't have that strong desire to just go outside of each other and have fun. I mean, if it happened, it happens. We're not stuck like that. But we have a really good understanding. We meditate together, we pray together, we we lay hands on each other for healing. We have strong faith together. We
Travel
just
together.
yeah, we love traveling together. Travel is a love language, so I see any kind of stress, I just plan something and we're just flying or driving out, and sometimes we wind up driving 3 or 4 days from Washington State to Georgia or something like
I
that, or
was gonna say, talk
Louisiana.
about the Mississippi trip. What the
Mississippi.
people said to us.
You tell that story.
So we actually drove to Mississippi, like
Twice.
40 hours. Yeah, twice. Wouldn't really recommend it, but
No, it's fine.
time, if you have time to do it, because it's going to take time. But it was 40 hours, is what GPS said. And so we drove it. And I think the first time, I think both times we drove it in about 2 days, right? I think we drove it in about 2 days, both times, because we had to get there. We had funerals and we had to get there. And so, but on the way back, I think we took our time. Took us about
3 days.
3 days.
Yeah, it might close to 4.
Yeah, about 4 days, and we just took our time, coming back, and it was good. But people asked us, well, how do you be in the car, with your husband for all that time? How do y'all? I mean, that would drive me crazy, and that's what people were saying to us. And we said, we didn't even think about it. We're like, we have such a good time together, and we enjoy each other's company. I said, and I don't understand why you wouldn't want to be with a person that you love, you know, for that long. I mean, because we stopped, we had a good time, we saw things, and we recorded stuff because we both make videos and things like that, and we got some good footage and good content, and we had a good time, and we were like, well, I don't know why anybody else would want to do that. I mean, but then I don't know, I guess they have a different kind of love. But typically, when David go to work like extra, I miss him. I really miss him, and I have this thing inside my stomach where it's like I really be feeling him gone. And so we're kind of in that space, and we encourage that to other couples. Regardless of what kind of couples it is, we're not stuck on that. Whatever your love looks like to you, make sure that you are creating memories and being with the person that you love and spending time, quality time. And also make sure that you are, looking at your love language, what your love language is. And also, play to your strengths. Because you just heard David say that he planned the trip. Well, he plans pretty much all of our trips. I come up with the idea for the trip and he plans it. And I'm okay with that. People ask me about that, or they'll say, well, how much was that? Or what did you blah, blah, blah? And how did you? I was like, I didn't do any of it. I don't know. I was like, I don't know. I don't plan it. I don't know. I just go, and he's so amazing because he's so intuitive that he will feel when I'm feeling anxiety or when I'm feeling stress, and vice versa. Same thing. If he's feeling something, I'll feel it, and I'll do everything I can to help to chill him out and help him, calm down and help him, you know, move through that space. And so I truly believe in the law of attraction, and I believe that that is one of the things that we had, because we were in spaces where we were not looking for anybody, but God knew we needed each other. And so I think that when you get in that space where you understand and you know who you are, and then also you know what you want. That's always important. You know what you want. You know what You know what you had in the past, and you know what you don't want.
Tap the screen.
Yes.
Show love.
And then you know what you do want. And once you start really focusing on that, you know, because for me, I wanted love. You know, I wanted love. I wanted to be loved, and I wanted to be loved. You know, and so that was important to me. So when you sit down and figure out what's important to you, then you can begin to bring it into your awareness. And then when it shows up, you'll know what it is. I tell ladies that all the time that I talk to. I say, because I use my life as encouragement for people a lot of times, because you know, people when they get to be, you know, over 45, over 50, you know, they start saying, you know, maybe it's nobody for me, or you know, maybe I'm not going to find anybody, and things like that. And that's simply not true. That's simply not true, because you know, we found each other later in life, you know, and it was amazing how it happened. And but you know, just to encourage y'all that you know there is love out there over 45, over 50, over 60. Because I have to share this story. One of my aunts, she I don't think she had anybody for years, and she was kind of icky. She won't see it because she transitioned, she ain't here no more. But she was kind of icky, and so you know you could kind of understand why she really probably didn't have anybody. But she went into assisted living and her husband, met and married her husband.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was like so amazing to me that you know they found love at such an advanced age. So I say that to say that you can find love at any time. Love is not limited to finding in your 20s or your 30s or even your 40s or 50s. You know, so
true.
really you have to kind of, you know, think about it like that, because I was really shocked, but but you know, love is love, and love finds love. So, you know, be encouraged. Be encouraged. But yeah, we love, you know, doing things together and being together, and we plan things together, and you know, while David plans. But I just find stuff. You know, and that's important too. You know, because the thing is, you know, gone are the days of these gender roles. You know what I mean? Because the gender roles, you know, is, you know, the woman does all the cooking. And now David does the majority of the cooking, but I do cook. I cook sometimes. And I can cook. So it's not that. But he actually likes cooking a lot of times, you know, and
For the
sometimes
people I love.
for the people he loves.
She wants
Sometimes
me to open a business, but I'm not into that.
sometimes I'm trying to get him to do a food truck, because I think we could make a killing.
Yeah, that's work.
Especially here where we live, because we live in the Pacific
That's work,
Northwest. And
That's
if
work.
if we do soul food, we would probably you know, be gazillionaires.
I'm ready to retire, people. Retire, travel the world.
But yeah, so that's the thing. That's in our vortex, and that's the thing that we have out there to do, you know, because we want to, you know, if we do something, we want it to be where it's location independent, because that is really the key, you know, so that we can travel and enjoy other places. And I can go to some of these countries that he's been to, because he's been to 21 different countries, and I've only been to 3.
A
I've
little
been to
bit more.
Canada, Mexico, and here in the States. So I'm looking to go venture out and travel to some other places, you know, and I'm gonna shout out to my cousin that is in South Korea. I'm so super excited for you, girl. So anyway,
Just keep in mind, if you ever do go across country, either way, west to north to east to south, whatever, just make sure you don't get blood clogged. I mean, this is a real thing. We put dumbbells in the back of our vehicle, and we stop and we play with those, and we stopped and we walked. We made sure we did body twists, whatever. You know, and I'm a push-up guy, so I would even get some gloves on and just do the push-up. But you got to stay active. That's one thing that helped keep us young. You know, we like Tammy said, we've been doing this for we both been doing it for close to a half a century and over a half a century. So that said, it's just about enjoying life, being real, keeping it real with each other. Uh, we don't take things too serious. We don't argue.
We laugh a lot.
You know, we laugh at we laugh at ourselves, each other, and people around us. You know, and we and, and sometimes I even got to explain that because Tammy don't care where she busts out and laugh, and I said, hey, she's not laughing at you, especially when it's the big guy I gotta look up to. You know, and I'll be like, nah. My Mike Tyson days are over. Even in my younger days, I didn't really throw down that much. I did what I had to do because I don't know if you know, when you're the oldest in a big family, I'm the oldest son. I have one older sister, you know, four brothers that would stay into something. And I actually remember one situation one of my brothers got into, and I walked there to deal with the guy, and I said, I had to look up at the guy and say, yo, man, why you messing with my little brother, man? And he looked down at me, and you know, it kind of got real. My dad taught me a vital lesson when I was about 7 years old. The guy was a bully, him and his cousin, and I was actually afraid of the guy. The guy would make me walk all the way to the other door in school, the far away door to come in school. And what made me not fear bullies is kind of what my dad took me through. One day he lived on my block in Brooklyn, and my dad was like, he said something disrespectful to my dad, and we were the same age, but he was bigger. And my dad said, hey, this is just the language he used. He said, kick his ass, David. And I remember when my dad says something, you couldn't look or think twice. You just had to react. And nobody seen what happened to me when I went at the dude. His cousin put his feet out, and I tripped. And when I tripped in the nasty New York summertime gutter water. And Tammy, I tell you, I'm a little germaphobe, and I was standing there like somebody just smacked me hard as they could. I was almost in shock. And, you know, I still got PTSD when I think about it. But when I got up, I just seen red, and I just went after the guy. My dad was like, jab him, hook him, hit him. You know. Ali was our favorite fighter back then. It was like my dad was telling me everything, and I better listen. And I was quick, and I was doing everything. And I tagged the guy one time, and the guy cried like a little baby and went running. So that made me not scared of bullies after that, you know, because I said, okay, this is how you do that. But that said, uh, you get away from your kids sometime if you still at the age you have kids. Have your daytime. We go to adult only affairs. We go deeper than that another time because we actually are travel agents for adult hangout places all around the world. Resorts and just fun places. You know, nothing against kids, but when we go out, we just like to be all out fun for grown up fun. uh, and we used to in our younger days come home to kids, but now we just like doing grown up stuff. We love our neighbors' kids. We love our nieces, our nephews, grandchildren. At the same time, we hand them back, you know.
Well, it's a time and a place for them.
Yeah, and we go out and have fun. This is a deep subject for some of you. It shouldn't be, because the word talked about leaving the place of our father's land.
Leaving it clean.
You know, and we become one. And too many people today, they put their children first, and your children is a family. At the same time, you made the commitment to me and her, we made the commitment to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And our kids someday are gonna grow up and leave, and we like to live close to our children. We like to keep our children close, but we'll tell you from experience, they don't always stay close, and they won't be your world, and they won't
You won't be their
you
world.
won't be their world, and you won't be their everything. So don't get shocked by that. You just remember the kids are going to grow up, and you still have to have each other. If you're fortunate and blessed, you have each other. Don't let that be divisive.
Yeah.
But that's a biggie, because I hear it so much now. When I was younger, it didn't happen. But at the same time, we're living in a different time.
Mm-hmm.
But just learn to have fun together.
Yeah.
We don't even have to think of fun. What the fun things are going to be like. We have our staycations. Tammy don't know, but I was thinking about just dressing up. We're in wine country, so we have the wineries, and they have the best food, the best meat, cheese platters, and all of that stuff. Might just dress up just to go out to one of those. Just staycations type. We have a place on one of the islands out here. Washington is full of islands, and sometimes we just go over there and hit up Airbnb.
Yeah. VRBO, whatever.
Yeah. But it's just get out and do. Don't
learn how to have fun, and also learn how to have fun at home.
Right.
And how to relax.
You don't have to go. I laugh because a lot of times it's hard to get us out, but once we get out, we do have fun.
Yeah, because like I seen some people at the Jazz Alley I want to go see, like Samara Joy's coming
Jazz
here.
Alley is big time.
And I really want to see her. Yeah, it's a nice jazz spot where you can go and see all kinds of artists.
Excellent bread pudding. Excellent.
I was gonna say the food is good.
Yeah.
You have to be prepared when you go because it's not cheap, but it is very nice, and the atmosphere is good. It's big enough where people are there, but it's small enough where it's intimate, and you actually get a chance to see the performers and actually speak to them and all that kind of stuff. So it's really, really good.
And not only speak, we got don't ever do this in life. A-Bear.
Mini A-Bear, yeah.
Mini A-Bear. Some of you might know jazz good enough, but some people that was very close to them, that was hanging out with them, they liked where we were coming from, and they invited us out to the winery. And we both, Tammy had to work the next day, and people, opportunities like this don't just come all the time.
Right.
So you should, what I should have did is said, just showed up, because I wasn't working. And I should have said, my wife.
What you should have said is, maybe call out.
Yeah. And I thought about it after the fact. I said, we got money, we could have.
But but we also have to say that, we're people that we have integrity.
Yeah.
And so we're not like this new generation. They just call out for no reason, just because they want to go do something. Too. Yeah, some of the old ones too. But some of them, they just call out just because they don't want to go to work and stuff like that. And that's we're not really built like that.
They'd be like, I'm calling out. Why? Weather. I'm just taking weather leave, But it's not.
Or you could say, you got anal blindness.
Yeah.
But we typically, we really aren't built that way.
Yeah.
Like I recently just had to call out last year, because I was so sick. But I typically would even go to work sick. And sometimes I have to tell my husband that too, because sometimes he was sick, and I say, you need to call out because you're sick. Right? Because what happens when you go to work sick, it makes it worse, especially as you're older.
And sometimes you spread.
Right, and then you be spreading to other people, and and then a lot of times too, when you go to work sick and they know you sick, they still work the dog shit out of you. So instead of, them taking pity on you, or something like that, they just, it's like they work you to death, and they know you sick, and you actually came in to help them, because otherwise you could have just called out. So that's the other piece to that. But we realized, later, that we should have just did that thing, because it would have been amazing connections for us.
But we go to all kind of clubs too. We love the so-called, in New York we would call a mixed club, but we love those environments. Sometimes they have shows or what have you.
Yeah, the shows are
But
fun.
yeah, but we get on the floor, and this is because we love being active, and we don't just get on the floor to be active. We get on the floor because we enjoy ourselves. But we sometimes we spend hours out there.
We'll close the club down
We spend
dancing.
and a lot of people don't get it that we still have a lot of play in us. Even though back in the day, uh, we would in New York we would do there was a club on 40 something street in Manhattan, and then I walk up to 72nd Street in Manhattan, and then I would walk up. I did a lot of walking. Yeah. 20 blocks is a mile. And then I would walk up because my aunt lived on 110th Street in Manhattan. That was Spanish Harlem back in the day. Now I walk up there. It wouldn't happen all at once, but these were places I would stop. And then I walked to 125th Street around St. Nick's and everything. Some places there. And then 135th, the Big Apple Bar. And then 145th. So I would do this in a day. And this is why they call New York the thinnest city. And it used to be called the thinnest city in the country. And a lot of people say, that's not the healthiest city. I said, thin is not always healthy. But we walked everywhere. We took cabs. We took buses. A lot of people don't own cars. But I would wind up on 140 something street. Now, I would actually start at West 4th, where I take a train from Brooklyn, get off of West 4th. But I would stop at all of these places. And I would wind up being in the after hour that where the club would slow down the music of about 5 in the morning. A lot of people think after hours 3 in the morning, but up in New York, 5 in the morning, and then the regulars would just chill, but the other people would start leaving, and then they would pump up the music about 5:30 and keep it going to maybe sometimes 7 something in the morning, and then we would wind up going to nobody hardly went home, so we would go to somebody's house, to a restaurant, to wherever, but you never wind up home. But it was funny, and we both still have that a little bit in us. And traveling in the military, traveling in the world, you got places and you have fun. If anybody here from New York, you know what I'm talking about when I say back in the day, WBLS was the #1 radio station in New York, and I used to do mixtapes back in the cassette tape days. If some of you don't know what that is, I used to do mixtapes, pick them up from New York, and I would take them overseas with me. And I remember being in this club in Spain and getting the DJ. It was Spain or Morocco, but I got the DJ to throw this cassette tape in. And the mix was nobody had mixes like New York back in the day. And the mix was so devastating. The whole club just went crazy because they never heard sound like that overseas. And then to show it was a mixtape, WBLS did this. They said, this is WBLS, the total experience in sound. And the dude got so pissed because everybody thought he was mixing. But yeah, but we've had our fun. So we get out there on the floor and we burn off some calories. We come back. The next day we have to rub each other down with all kind of we got all kind of little ointment and stuff, and we know it's not a bad soreness and ache, except for sometimes at a certain age, something with your hip. I remember a guy I used to work with, and I was up. I'm up there in age, but back then I was considered young. I was in my 40s, and he was like 62. I said, "Man, that dude, oh, that's why he having a problem." But he talked about his hip, and now I be feeling it. But his hip got so bad, and we did heavy duty work, his hip got so bad where he was popping over the counter stuff, and it wasn't helping him much, and he was limping, and I see the pain on his face, and he went and had a hip operation, and I thought that was kind of like a crazy thing to have a hip operation. And he said, I should have been did this. It's like night and day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where me and Tammy will do another thing on healing. But a lot of times we don't want to accept the fact that God put amazing people on this earth to help us heal. And we just think healing is a deep spiritual thing, but it's not, because he said greater things than these you will do. And the greater work is here now. And a lot of people don't know we're a part of that greater work. Sometimes they think it's blasphemous when you say stuff like, no, you're supposed to do greater work than Jesus right now. But Jesus was just one that set the platform. He paved the way.
Right.
Now we are supposed to be out there stepping and walking, because if you see me, you see my Father. And we have to believe that we're the image. We have to believe and know who we are and know the power we have. And some of these doctors, they're just amazing, especially if you get the right one. You remember the one we had? She was from Trinidad. Beautiful, beautiful woman. I mean, in every way, And I can say,
That's good.
I'm glad I could say this to my wife, because if I would have said it with some women, they were like, "Why are you calling her beautiful?"
She really was, and we miss, we miss her. And then we had a doctor in Tucson. We miss him because he was just so good, and you could tell that he cared, and he, I had to think about it when he convinced my husband to take cholesterol pills. He told him just to take the pills because he said he understood, because he knew that he was working on it. And he said he was the same way, and they were actually the same age, right?
We were exactly the same age.
And so he understood. And so he told him to take
not a whole pill every day, but
no, take a half a pill twice a week.
Twice a week. Instead of a whole pill every day. And it actually worked, because me and him work out the same and everything. And a lot of these doctors who don't connect with you, be cautious. You want to live long,
and you can fire them.
Right. And these pills, they did something to me. I'm getting kind of deep here, but I would feel some kind of way. I'd feel aches in my body, like I was having cramps all over. And at first I didn't know where it was coming from. I said, did I have enough water today? But these things was I'm not dealing with them now, because I just got all the way. I backed off of meats, not completely, y'all. But we eat so many salads, vegetables, fruits. We do juices, but we're careful how much sugar we do. But we enjoy life. We don't really restrict ourselves, and we don't like to use the word diet, because for us it's a way of life, because we still enjoy our
I say eat what you want.
Yeah.
Just don't eat as much of it.
Right. Moderation.
Moderation.
The words say that. Moderation.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether you read the Torah, the Surah, or the Quran, or the Bible, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Do everything in moderation. Don't be extreme in anything.
Right.
So that's kind of how we do that. So we eat what we want. And I have had all these weight loss people coming at me and all this stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
Y'all leave my wife alone.
I don't need y'all.
Yeah.
I am good. I said, because here's the thing. I am a black woman. I'm not going to be 12 pounds. That's it. And I'm over 50. So, when you lose all that weight like that, all you do is just make room for wrinkles.
Isn't she a lovely
I
50?
said, so nobody's playing
Plus,
those games. I said, no, I said, that's not our ideal
thank you for the
to
love.
be a twig. Now if you are a twig, that's just your natural way. Nothing wrong with that, but it's not our goal to be a twig. And, especially when you're equipped, in different areas. So no, I'm good. So y'all don't, if that's what you do, I love you and keep doing what you do, but leave me alone.
I just like to say, I'm gonna cut it short a little bit because I gotta work
Yeah, we're gonna land
tonight.
this plane.
Uh, um, it's all about partnership. It's all about relationship.
Respect.
It's all about, respect is big, and it's all about being patient, and don't ever say to each other, um, "Girl, I love you so much," as long as you don't leave that part out.
Yeah.
Don't put the butt in there. You
Yeah.
know,
Just take your butt out of it.
and I shocked Tammy one day because I could tell she never had nobody say this. I said, I love you unconditionally. It's nothing in the world that you can do to make me turn away from you. Now, it might be vice versa, but I don't care if she don't say it back to me, but she feels the same way. It's how I feel toward her. It's unconditional. Now, did that mean that we should stay in a relationship and stay abused? No, but that love can still stay there. You don't, and then we don't plan or we can't see ourselves ever just running away from each other
Right.
because that love is so deep, and it's just nothing we can think of. And some people, they've even asked us, suppose this one do that or this one do that. We say, what we have to realize is perfection is how we were created. And you know those of you know about the fall made us imperfect, but the coming made us perfect again. But at the same time, we have to see our imperfection and see the work that we're still the vessels that are still being refined, and we have to respect that. We have to, and like I said, it's not about hurt, abuse, or anything like that, but it is about patience. Patience is so important in a relationship, and not just a relationship as being a couple, as being
Yeah.
partners. You know, it's so important, and listening, and even when we talk here, uh, you can see how patient we are with each other. And we connect, we read each other, we know the body language. Tammy know that I probably should be laying down. Today is my Friday, by the way. So, I go in there and I work in the evening. I go in there tonight and whoa, it's like a celebration. You know, but I thank everyone for the gift. Hopefully, you got out there to share. Um,
And hopefully you got something out of this,
yeah,
that you can even take with you and
yeah.
share with other people. Because the other thing that we were going to mention was that, we have created couples. And I think my husband, kind of talked about that a little bit. But I can see our influence on a lot of the couples that we meet because they either, they see us and they see how we get along and they see how we, spend time together, how we always want to be around each other. And they like that and they see our love for each other and they see how, we care for one another. Because, one thing I do is now because I say this because I was trained by my grandmother to be a good wife. I was trained to be that. So I've been a good wife. Didn't have a good husband the first time, but now I do. So I know how to do that, and I know how to make sure that he feels loved and he feels cared for. And I do it because I want to. But I mean, I make sure that, he has lunch when he got to go to work, and, and that he's feeling okay, and that, that he's able to sleep and not, worry about things, and, anything I can do to, make him feel good and comfortable. That's what I do.
And vice versa.
And vice versa. So that's a part of it as well. So you might want to also do that in your relationship. Little things, I mean, add up.
Big.
Because he'll if he gives me a bouquet of flowers. I love roses. I love flowers because right now I got carnations on the table. But if you give me a bouquet of roses, oh my God, that is so amazing. And at one time before
we had a
moved,
rose bush.
We had rose bushes at this house. I manifested rose bushes because I love roses. But also, David would give me roses every week, and so I had kept a lot of them. I had all of them dried, and I had kept them for some years. And then when we moved, I decided, it was time to start fresh because they were just going to get crushed, and it wasn't a good way to travel with them. But, that's just an example of little things that he does that, I appreciate, because to me, it just makes me feel loved, so, just look at little things and see what you can do, in your relationship to help it, and, to help you to, continue to share that love with each other, because that's really what it's all about, because love is the principal thing.
And don't be shy when you see beautiful people with each other. Don't be shy to talk about those people. What good attributes you see in those people.
Yeah.
Male, female, or whoever. And that's something we can share. We see a beautiful person inside or out or both. We acknowledge, and sometimes uh, uh, a male or female is shocked when one of us gives a compliment, and we're together. But don't be don't be that person that feels because you're married you can't notice beauty, you can't notice somebody or a person that looks good or what have you.
Right.
Just just don't get caught up in that. Don't get
Right.
caught up in trying to have tunnel vision. So that said,
We're going to land this plane, y'all.
and keep in mind, them flowers now also. Tammy takes those rose petals and stuff, and she has a bath soaks that's so amazing. She put me in one because I'm just not motivated to fill the tub up. But one day I said what is that in the water? Because she gave me a darker soap, but I got in there. It was hard for me to stay awake, but I was so relaxed. I just stayed in there, and time just went by. But she's motivated by a show we watched on Netflix,
Couple.
and yeah, a couple, but one just stood out. The what's the name of
Queen Charlotte.
it? Queen Charlotte. But that said, I'll let her take it away and
Yeah.
tell you
Yeah.
a little bit about her site. But follow her on YouTube and all the other. I gotta get something to drink.
Yeah. So,
I didn't
but
bring
we're
my
gonna
thing
land
back.
this plane. But yeah, so just follow me because you'll see I have some bath soaks and spiritual bath soaks, and they're amazing. I mean, I have a few different types, and I actually have some other ideas for some other ones to create. So just keep that in mind, and I'll be getting them straight too, because I love to do it.
Suppositories.
Oh yeah, cannabis suppository. So if you have any type of issues that you could use that for, like I sold some to a lady.
You don't have to have issues.
No, I'm just saying.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
gonna share them. I sold some to a lady that had MS because it was, I think, apparently hard for her to metabolize the cannabis and stuff. And so, what happens when you use them as suppositories? They go straight into your bloodstream. You can also use them for like menstrual cramps and stuff like that, because that really was what I think some of them were actually created for, was menstrual cramps. But you can use them for that. I use them for hemorrhoids. because nothing else works. All the other stuff, the ones that are made for hemorrhoids don't really work. But the cannabis ones, they work like a charm. So that's another thing that I have coming up. So if those are things that you are enjoying, make sure that you're following me, because of course I'll be posting more information about those and more details. And then, like my husband said, make sure you go check out my YouTube. I got over 900 videos on there, y'all. 900.
It's
So
like
I'm sure there's something
it's
that
probably
you can
over
find.
1,000, and some of them were lost, and with the dummies taking your stuff and things like that. But
So anyway, so we're gonna land this plane. I really appreciate y'all watching us. Thank you for the love. And we also have some stuff coming up too, because we're interested in helping couples. So if that's something that you're looking for, then make sure that you follow us, because we're also doing some things in that arena, because we know the impact that we have had on couples, and we are so honored that we can do that. And we are so grateful for the opportunity, just to be able to speak to y'all and, help people to see how beautiful love can be, and unconditional love. So we're going to land this plane. Baby, you want to close this out?
Yeah. All I like to say is sayonara. Bye. Just have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your 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 weekend, your Sunday. We just love getting together like this. Sometimes I'm so exhausted, we can't do it. So I'm just glad I have the energy to reach out to you. I thank you for all the shares, all the gifts. Just follow us and we follow you. And much love to you. Knowledge is the foundation of all things in existence. This is my earth, my queen. And I hope the same for everyone out there. Remember, love is love, and we support everybody that support us.
Yep.
Okay.
And good night, y'all. Thank you, Angie. Thank you, Carrie, for joining us. Angie's in the UK, baby, and she is old enough to be our daughter. She's 35. What the world?
Closer, and it's believed that they fell in love. Dylan Parker would engage in a...
That was interesting.
It is. I'm going to finish it.
Where's yours? Where's your?
Isn't it in Creator Tool? Oh, no, here it is. Well, they have to process that thing first, right? Oh, live event. What is that about? Let's see.
Well, I got a lot of likes. What a diamond, baby.
Oh, we can create an event on TikTok. Oh, that is too straight. Baby, they done gave me a thing. You can create an event on TikTok.
So we could have did this as an event.
Yeah, so we can do that. Yeah, but they want you to put a time.
Well, we could do it for next week. Yeah.
Yeah, start time.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do it for 7:30 or something like that.
Okay.
That'll give us time to wind down a little bit.
Okay. Well, maybe this is probably why I woke up, because baby, I just woke up. I thought it was daylight. It was like 4 something in the morning. I said, "Oh Lord." Okay, what is today? 23rd, so the 30th.
Total views 372. I seen 400 on there a long time.
Let me put 45
Unique
minutes.
viewers, 333. Average time. Oh.
4 seconds.
Peak view, 9. Average view count, 2.
Relationships. Boundaries. Love. And healing. Baby, you like how I brought the law of attraction in there?
Mm-hmm. Look at this live again. How to.
Yeah, I'm actually doing that. That's one of the things that I'm doing, focusing on this week is that and this other thing so I can get this thing going once I figure out how to open this thing. But we can make clips. That's what other thing too, baby. You can make clips. So like you can save it and post clips.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Blessings. Let me know what the weather's like in your area too. We actually had to bundle up to come down in our living room. We got an upstairs out here.
I'm gonna put 18 and over, baby.
And
put 18
upstairs
and
get a
over.
little warm, but down here is 64 degrees.
Why? Huh?
And it's going up to near 80 today.
Because we talk about grown up stuff.
This is God sent weather, and we're grateful for it. I say let the young people I'm bundled up. I just got in from a
well, baby, you know, because they start fucking with you. That's what I'm talking about. Even not even cussing, but I'm just saying, you know, I figure that's the best.
To a few functions. However,
your live video will still be removed if it violates our community guidelines. I mean, what the fucking difference would it make?
Hey, good morning, everyone. Blessings.
They said it's under review or something, but I'm like, I don't even know what that means. I can't worry about it. So, okay, you can go on.
They said what we can do. What can we do to? Almost an hour. I gotta work on my neck, baby.
Okay, we are live. Alrighty, we are live. Baby, welcome to Sunday service with the Morrisons. This is my husband David Morrison. I'm Tammy Morrison, and we are here to do Sunday service. So we're going to talk about relationships, of course, and our favorite subject, love, and creation. Love, attraction. We talk about all. Let me go upstairs and watch this. So if there's something that you want us to talk about, I would love it if you would drop it in the comments. And if you're on TikTok and you're watching me on my page, go to my bio and click YouTube and subscribe. But you know what? It wouldn't upload Instagram on this page either. On mine, I don't know what happened. What was it? Catches, free up space.
I don't know what that is.
Let me show you.
I had a towel here to keep.
Oh, that's what you did? So I use it for my hair.
Upstairs.